Our job is to report the news, not fabricate it. That's the government's job.
Now, we all remember the arch-Ramona Femi, whatever his surname is. He has crawled back out from under his rock to go against what the people of this country think yet again. Ignoring 17.4 million votes and losing wasn't enough, he has now turned his attention to the poppy and our glorious dead, screaming at the incompetent and compromised BBC for wearing poppies on one of their news shows, which is rather incredible for someone who is anti-Boris Johnson's government. He is conveniently ignoring the crimes of them to attack the memory of those who fought for the freedoms Boris Johnson is now taking away from us, as we the majority are standing by and letting him, which also proves we don't have any opposition in this country from political parties or indeed the activists who claim to hate Boris Johnson and want him removed from office. It's actually them Remainers supporting what Boris Johnson is doing like it was Jeremy Corbyn running the country. But to be honest, I now consider Johnson to be practically on par with Jeremy Corbyn at this point. Yes, Corbyn would have been worse, but Corbyn's not in charge, so he didn't get the chance to go even further. Boris at the moment is attempting to tell Corbyn to hold his beer. Now, if Femi really was anti-Boris, anti-Tory government, he would be screaming from the rooftops, calling out the blatantly obvious tripe we are being fed daily. Obviously, he's not. Instead, he wants to go after our heroes. Despite remembering Boris Johnson last year was a dictator for shutting down Parliament in Femi's eyes. He has spent 8 months nearly ruling by decree, and we have radio silence or complicity from these tosspots who think it's better to attack our fallen because that is what paid for bottom feeders like Femi do. Before now, Femi had been a distant memory, but I guess he needed some relevance again when he pumped out this gem of a tweet for us. As you can see, he has a picture up from the BBC covering the election, and BBC guidelines he thinks supports these arguments. Obviously, they do not. He writes, "Dear BBC, why are your presenters wearing poppies? Your rules ban virtue signalling no matter how worthy the cause. If presenters can support war-related campaigns on the news, surely they can show they believe in equality for black and gay people, or is that against BBC values?" Now, none of that from Femi shocks me in the slightest, but it's always good to see Femi turning more people against him while he panders to his Twitter echo chamber. Firstly, the BBC should all be wearing poppies simply because it is not virtue signalling in any sense of the word. It is paying respects to the glorious dead who have died defending this country, you deluded little fuckpig. Them heroes fought and died to give us the freedoms we once had. Without them, the UK would have been an authoritarian state under foreign rule, which really pisses me off even more that Boris Johnson's current actions would make them turn in their graves and literally makes their sacrifices in vain, as we are now living in an authoritarian state anyway. The poppy and honouring our war dead is never virtue signalling, and is just plain disrespectful to everyone who has died, putting it in the same bed with current day politically correct Marxist bullshit. You know, the type of shit Femi is funded to do, and it seems so is Boris Johnson, as he has banned this year's remembrance events that I covered the other day. Now, I should also point out just how woke the BBC is, as we know. They have spent 100 million on hiring exclusively from ethnic minority backgrounds and support every other left-wing talking point till they are blue in the face. As we know, the poppy is apolitical, remembering those who died, not glorifying war. It's glorifying those who gave their lives to ensure the country remained free, and shit, let's be honest, they even ensured black people could actually live in the UK. Femi knows this, he just plays stupid to fit in with his supporter base that likely don't know their arsehole from their earhole, so are easily led. A bit like sections of the British public ignoring their common sense to believe a media fear machine they know lies to them consistently. Though I do have faith it will come back to them before long, but Femi the tit just adds being a race-baiting tosspot to that mix and will likely never change.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.